And welcome back to WMMBAM.com here in the video on demand section, where today we're talking with School Board District 3 candidates Dean Paterakis and Kneessy. It's been a fun view on the show this morning. Let's see how that is as we march on in this video section. The first question I want to get out there, and I'll let you two do what you want to ask, but if you attain this job, what's left to be accomplished since you've joined the school board? What do you want us done?
Well, I think there's all new things that need to be done because we're dealing with new children year after year. But bottom line is we need to continue to do more with less. We need to expand our public-private partnerships, and we need to privatize any area in our district that is going to save taxpayers money. All right.
Dean, if you get this job, what is it you want to do?
I want to put children and citizens first, bottom line, and stop the Brevard County school system from being an employment agency for friends and family.
What specifics would you want to accomplish to see that that's done?
Well, you need to get somebody in there. I know she keeps talking about, well, you need a 3 to vote. Well, you need another person that will actually stand up. So if we can get rid of Amy and put me in, there's a vote in the favor of integrity. So
who are the other two? You said you need another person. What other two are
I'm working on Amy. We'll in 2 years we'll work again on another person.
The implication in your answer was
I'm not.
You need another person. Who are the other two that are voting the right way right now?
Oh, there are a few. I'm not going to mention names. I think they know who they are. Well, Amy, who do you think is doing the right? Let's ask Amy. Who do you think?
Whoa! My interview. Stand down a minute and answer the question.
Well, that's a double. You can't answer that question. And
you threw it out. I was just responding to what you said.
I have said we just need one extra, and if one person that's voting for integrity, the others are accountable to themselves. So I can't. I can only
about accomplishing change on the school board, and you're not telling me that you're going to be able to do it.
Well, listen.
Have been.
Okay. Fowler was the one voice, right?
Who hasn't been on the board in eons.
Yes, but she brought so much forth.
She used to take stuff to Andy Griffith at the jail, though.
She brought so much forth to the citizens. I want to be that voice again.
Okay.
And she, unfortunately, health, age, and stuff, she's unable to do it. She had to step down. Mm-hmm. I want to take that torch, and I want to move it forward. So with my efforts, I'm hoping to inspire others. And it is ugly. You've seen how hard it is to be a person of integrity in the political system.
Absolutely.
It is very hard. So hoping this year, and if it's not, that's fine. I've already made my points. I've made every time I run in 2 years, I get things accomplished. 4 years ago, I talked about the Veterans Day. Why didn't we have a Veterans Day for our children off? We have such a high population of veterans. And now, since that time I spoke out against it, we have had Veterans Day off for the children. So, hey.
So you're taking credit for that.
Well,
I love
what?
Dean.
It's amazing how it works out. 2 years ago.
All right, hang tight. Let's go to Amy on the issue of garnering the 3-2 support that's necessary, at least 3 vote support that is there.
Okay, I think I can make a point of how I am a person of integrity and do stand up. I think the war that was fought between Dr. DePatri and I made a very clear statement that even when the going got tough, I was able to stand up, do the right thing, and he is no longer at the district. Brian Bingley is at the district. To me, that speaks for itself.
All right, very good. Let me get the next question started. That would be, there has been a controversy over purchasing, spending, maintenance, those kind of things recently.
Yes, there has.
And not until this week, after the school board had talked to Florida Today's Matt Reed, did we see real specifics laid out about any change in the system and process there. Where was the problem? What was the solution? And what would you do differently moving forward?
Okay, I think Matt laid it out really well, and that was why I voted against the half-cent sales tax, is we had a good old boy network inside our district, and it was at more than one level, and those people are no longer there. And the problem is we have 9,000 employees, and I can't be all things to all people, and all I can do is act on the information that I'm given, and that's exactly what I've done. I have had issues with Ed Curry since the day I took office in 2004, but until you get the people in place and you get the superintendent in place that can make those changes, unlike my opponent, I will not break the law to do what's good for children, because I believe my role as a school board member is to uphold the laws of the state and federal government.
Have we got the spending problem under control? Have the proper steps been taken?
Proper steps have been taken, but the trust has not been established for me either. And that was one of the reasons I voted against a half-cent sales tax. You don't just make changes and say everything's fine and go back to the way things are going.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer in trust but verify, and I need time to see that the changes have happened, and it's not there for me yet.
Dean, you referenced this spending scandal in your comments on the show earlier. Has the board taken proper steps based on what you've seen, and are there other steps you would take if you were in office here?
Well, I would be a little more proactive. You know, Ed Curry didn't get caught because he was misspending our money. He got caught because he was trying to hire his daughter-in-law for a position that she wasn't qualified for. That's the only reason why he got caught with everything else, because by then they did. And the interesting thing is, the woman that whistle blew didn't go to the 8-year Amy Kneessy. There was no trust there. She had to go to another school board member to speak about this. So again, yes, DePatri was a bad guy, or he wasn't as good as Bingley. But at the same time, too, let's not fool ourselves. She says they're all gone, these good old boys. No, you've heard a lot of people that I've mentioned. This pack that the painters, again, you got to look at her and her record, and don't take my word for it.
Again, I'm asking you what you would do to correct that problem. I'm not asking you about what Amy's done. I'm asking you about change you'll make if you're elected to this office.
The first thing I would do is you get rid of that security department, because all they do is they do their own investigations, okay? And that right there, if you own the sheriff's department, you own the city, okay? Second, Harold Beislein, way too much money for what he does. We have to get rid of him, bring in a new attorney, fresh ideas. Third, we get rid of there's the area superintendents. Then we need to get rid of all the area superintendents when we're in a budget crunch. Anybody that's on drop, we need to let them go. There are many assistant principals that want the job of principalship. Those people, again, we're in a budget. We can't be spending. It's like my wife. My wife is a great housemaker, and she's worth $100,000 a year plus. But I can't afford it. Okay, we can't afford it. So now we have to just go with getting the best at the best price. When I do a bid, when we hit our pool, we don't go and we have a design and we know what we want. We don't go to the person that says, "Oh, well, I'll do it for $150,000." No, but that's what we do consistently. We go with the highest price, and it's sad. And so, what I would do is I would bring some integrity back. I would put myself, and Amy has to do this. We have to stand up. The people need to stand up and say, "Enough's enough. We're going down the wrong path." Again, the other thing that I see with Amy, she complained about the Republican parties that she goes to the meetings, how they're mean to her now. Well, because
no, that's not what I said, Dean.
Okay, tell me what you said.
I said they do not treat the people that come to those in a respectful and kind manner that the way I was raised.
Well, and this happened just recently because, and she said, and you continue, that the DEC treat her better, right?
That they're respectful and treat everyone that comes into the room, regardless of whether they're a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, as people should be treated respectfully.
Absolutely. But here's why, in their defense, the Republican parties are in their defense. If you see somebody that has become a rhino, and you get upset. I mean, we hear the radio station, we hear Glenn Beck, we hear Rush Limbaugh. We get upset of what's going on. When somebody tells us one thing and does another.
Which you have yet to prove.
Really? I put those contracts on my website.
That's
okay,
right.
That you said that I was wrong on.
You are.
I have put here, Lori Beckett, Steve Muzzick,
no.
None of those people are being prosecuted.
That's right.
And exactly. And you're saying that's great.
No.
We're fine. And we're going, and all the good
I've
old
never
boys
said
are
that,
gone.
Dean.
The good old boys are gone. They're not gone. They're still in there. And Amy, I don't know if you're one of them now. I don't know.
And
right.
Dean, we've talked about those
Nancy.
contracts. The contracts he's referring to are contracts that are in state law. When you supervise, there are certain positions that have to be on a specific state contract because of the state certifications that's required. Mm-hmm. A good example of that is our district labor negotiations. Joyce Salamone, I think, is one of the ones that's up there because her job title requires her to have a teaching certificate. She has to be on a teacher contract, but When you count up the number of administrators and number of teachers, as the state does, they go by the position title, not the contract. And I've made that very clear to Dean. The other person that he's vilified on his website, Bill, that I find very upsetting is former area superintendent Dr. Tom McIntyre, who's an icon in the south part of the county. The man died 4 years ago of a brain hemorrhage. I find it just as disrespectful that my opponent is vilifying a man that passed away and is considered an icon as an example of corruption and misinformation of contracts. And I gave Dean the opportunity. I left him a voicemail in case he did not know that that gentleman had passed away so he could remove it and be respectful of the family. And he's chosen not to do that and to continue to vilify this man.
All right, Dean, let me turn back to you. We are going to run out of time here. So biggest issue in this race for you, what is it?
The biggest issue is we're pretending we don't have money. We want our citizens to, again, contribute to the misspending that we have done. That's my biggest issue. I want to give the teachers and the parents the authority over their children's education. I'm sick and tired of the federal and state government telling us how to teach. So those are my key points. And get rid of the security department because, like I said, if you own the sheriff, you own the city. And until we get rid of that and have our own external investigations, people that are on the outside, less chance of corruption, we're going to continue to have what we have. And Amy, like I said, with contracts, this is how silly, and I don't know if she's that naive, but how can you say that a principal should not have an instructional contract, but an HR person must have an instructional contract?
Welcome
no
to the
sense.
state of Florida law.
Again, Amy, you need to do something about it, and you have not done it in 8 years. So why should I give you another 4?
Right. I got your answer. Let me go to Amy for yours. You number one, you can respond to that since he brought
it's the biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever heard. Those are laws written and developed by state legislature. Dean, if that's what you want to do, then you're running for the wrong job. And in terms of all the things you say you will do, you as one school board member make no decisions. You make decisions as a school board governing body. So to go out there and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, you are so far fooling yourself. You don't have a clue what this job entails. What you're asking to do is at the state level. And once again, I will uphold the laws of Florida and of this Constitution.
All right, Amy, biggest issue that you've got in this campaign?
I think the biggest issue is going to be building the trust back between the community and the schools. We are in this together. And when you have quality public schools, that brings the economy back. As I tell people out there, just because you don't have kids in school, you do pay property taxes. You do pay taxes, sales tax out there. And you want to see the economy come back from this recession. When companies come to visit Brevard County, of course, the first question they ask for is about tax incentive and the business environment. But the number 2 question is always tell us about your public schools. If you have quality public schools that are doing good things for kids, business will want to move here. If you have public schools where board members are not following the law, Osceola County is a good example of that. When the school board goes nuts, the economy suffers. And I will not allow that to happen in Brevard County.
For voters who want more information on you, where do they go?
www.amykneessy.com, and I also have an email and phone number on that site.
All right, very good, Amy. Thank you so much. Dean Paterakis, voters want more information on you. Where do they go?
deanforschools.com.
Is that the number 4 or the word 4?
Either way.
Either way
FOR or number 4.
All right, deanforschools.com. Thank you both for being here. Feisty interview, good time. More coming up here on the video pages at WMMBAM.com.